Hi, how are you? It's a bit of a mixed bag out there, I know, but I see you, I love you, you are not alone. I wrote an email last week that was really about taking note of how you are allowing yourself to be supported or what support you have in place for whatever you're going through right now. So paying attention, and there's like a wide range of course, of ways that we allow ourselves to be supported, but really asking that question of yourself. And if the support that you have does not feel adequate for the intensity or the transformation or the growth or the process that you're in, I urge you to do what you can to find other ways to resource yourself spiritually, psychologically, physically, emotionally, mentally, in all of the ways, because it's intense right now and you deserve support in this moment. So take note, maybe use that as like a little journal activity to kind of see like, where am I being supported? Where is there support available to me that I'm not leaning into? Or, just kind of noticing that concept of like, I use the metaphor of the caterpillar, the chrysalis, and the butterfly. And the chrysalis is that container that allows the butterfly to do the intense work of falling apart and rebuilding itself anew. But in order to be able to do that, it has to feel safe, it has to feel protected. And there's a lot of different ways that we can lend ourselves a proverbial chrysalis. And I just really hope that you will take a moment to think about that metaphor, apply it to where you are in your life right now, and asking yourself the important question of, how am I being supported? Okay. All right, so we have 3 messages for today. So go ahead and choose your question, and then you're going to choose message 1, 2, or 3 to support you this week. Take a deep breath. Maybe one more. Okay, so number 1, what I heard was, this was like really a big theme, was like stay focused on justice was basically the way that it came through. And it feels like whatever you're fighting for right now, whatever you're kind of like, it does feel quite like a fight, whatever you're battling against or asserting your will with, you know that it is the right thing. You know that it is the just thing, it is the fair thing, it is the right thing. But that doesn't mean that it's going to come without a fight. It doesn't mean that it's going to come without exertion of personal power. It doesn't mean that it's going to come without like tests. And so if you chose message 1, the guidance was really like, yes, you're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. You're doing it in service of something that is fair and just and right, but that it's going to require like a lot of focus. That's like, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing what is right, even when it feels incredibly hard, even when it feels, the imagery that they gave this to me with, you guys, was sometimes I see things, I'm like, I don't really know. And then I have to go like look them up, the story of them a little bit more. But it was the sword and the stone was kind of the imagery that I was being shown, which makes a lot of sense, right? Like sword, the suit of swords and tarot, and swords are really about clarity of mind. They're about justice. They're about freedom in a lot of ways. And so that's kind of what was coming up, was like, you have to be willing to like exert yourself against what might seem like insurmountable odds to prove your personal power, and that you can actually extract like the truth and what is right from this situation, even though it feels really tough. There's definitely like this message of, there might be ways to work smarter rather than harder in this. And that you might not have to do like all of the heavy lifting yourself, but that, staying anchored in the the purpose, staying anchored in the why is going to be what allows you to prevail, what allows you to be victorious in this. And you very much will be. Like, that was not really the question. It looks more like, what am I dealing with? Or like, that was more of the question. And the truth is, like, you are fighting for justice. You're fighting for truth. You're fighting for what you know is right. And like that, this pursuit is going to give you like a new level and awareness of your own personal power, your own fortitude. So really beautiful message. Okay. Message number 2. Okay. Number 2 was all about, like open space was a really important thing. And it was particularly like, and I saw like, open space in your calendar, open space in nature, maybe even like open space if you just like move to a new place or you're moving to a new place. There was this strong feeling like, I just need some space. Like, I just need space to be able to see more clearly, to be able to connect a little bit more strongly. And that is going to be like how the guidance that you're asking for really like drops in. It's funny, in the group program that I've taught one round of and gearing up to teach again soon, probably later in the fall, we start with this in the group, which is like all about space, because the truth is, unless there is space for what you're asking for to come through, particularly as it relates to guidance around next steps, there's no place for it to land. This is kind of why they say, like, if you're calling in, love, like it might be helpful to create some space, in your bedroom for someone to maybe store something, or someone to have their side of the bed, or whatever the case may be. So this idea of space is really important. I saw these just like beautiful, vast, like lush green rolling hills, like as far as the eye could see. And there's a sense of like freedom and like I can breathe, I can connect. And so I guess, bringing this back. So yes, pay attention to like, is there actually space in my calendar for me to like do the things that I say I want to do? Am I creating time and space to meditate, to connect? And I don't say meditate as, needing to like sit down in complete silence. There's walking meditations, there's moving meditations, there's, dance can be a form of meditation. You can meditate in the shower. Like, it doesn't have to be in this very like prescriptive way that you might think about it, but really just creating space, physically, emotionally, and mentally, to be able to bring in what you wanted to, what you're asking for, particularly the guidance that you're asking for that is going to help you move through this, this question or whatever's coming up for you. Okay, and number 3 is, this was really interesting. So 3 looked to me like you were asking like about a person or like a circumstance, like, is this the right environment for me, or is this the right person for me? Like, should I, sign this contract with this person or whatever? And like, I actually saw like this beautiful horse that came like right up and like kind of nudged itself kind of against me. And it was basically like saying that, this, I think it's called equine therapy, but basically this concept that horses are so much more perceptive than humans are. And so you can like put a human with a particular set of like emotional circumstances happening with a horse, and you can tell what's happening with the human by the way the horse responds to the human. Or similarly, like, you can tell when there maybe is about to be like a storm or an earthquake or something like that, because the animals start acting really strange. And so they're kind of the canary in the coal mine, so to speak. And that felt very much like the answer to this question, which was, if you're trying to understand if this is the right environment for you, the right person for you to engage with, pay attention to what's happening around that person. Pay attention to the circumstances in which they're moving in their life. Does like peace follow them, or does chaos follow them? Are the people around them calm and at ease and fulfilled, or are the people around them like distraught and, stressful? So that was kind of the thing, was like, you might not get a direct answer by like looking straight on at the thing, but you will get an answer by paying attention to the subtle clues that exist in the environment around it. And if you can just kind of like back up a little bit and be like, okay, I'm not going to decide right now, but I'm going to pay attention. So maybe if it's like a job, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to like go do a site visit at this job maybe, or I'm going to like interview a few people on the team and try to just get a feel for like, what is their disposition? How do they feel about this thing or this place or this job or whatever, this environment? And they will kind of be your canary in the coal mine in a lot of ways. So that was number 3. Your answer is going to come from looking at what is not directly at the thing, but looking at what is happening around it as a representation for the energy that that thing brings. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. That's it, you guys. I am grateful that you are here. Thank you so much. A few of you asked about the group reading that I originally scheduled for tonight. There was like no interest in it. So I canceled it because that just means something's like happening and people aren't ready for it. And so I just trust that when that happens. And I let it go. I will reschedule it. If you are interested and you are like ready for a group reading, it would be helpful if you DM me or maybe like just respond below. So I know like, yes, there's enough interest in creating this offering, like maybe in a couple weeks or next week or something like that. When I see like it's crickets on something like that, I'm like, oh, maybe it's not meant to be that day. And I'm easy to just kind of let it go and trust that it'll come back when it's meant to. So, all right. That's that. I love you all so much. I hope you have a great week. I know it's tough out there. I know so many of us are going through so much right now. And I just want you to know that you are not alone. You are seen, you are felt, and it is part of our process together. And I love you. And we'll make it. I know we will. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.